He cut his own firewood at 91. He mended his coat with a safety pin. When he died, he left $8 million.
Pop, who's the richest person you ever met?
Let me tell you a story.
Is it about a rich guy with a big house?
It's about a man who swept floors for a living.
That's not a rich guy.
That's what the whole town thought too.
So he was poor?
That's the thing, Penny. Nobody knew what he was, not till the day he died. His name was Ronald.
What happened when he died?
The town got the shock of its life. Let me start at the beginning.
Dummerston, Vermont. A small town, the kind where everyone knows everyone. And everyone knew Ronald. They just didn't know him. Ask anyone in town about Ronald Read, and you'd hear the same 3 words. Polite, punctual, poor. 2 of those were true. He was born in 1921, dirt poor, and grew up in the teeth of the Great Depression. He learned young what $1 was, a hard, rare thing. You didn't waste it, you didn't flash it, you made it last. That lesson never left him. He was the first in his family to finish high school, and to do it, he walked and hitchhiked miles into town every morning through every Vermont winter. Then the war came, and Ronald went with it. North Africa, Italy, the Pacific. He earned his medals and never once mentioned them. Came home in 45 and asked the world for nothing but a job. So he took the most ordinary jobs a town has. For 25 years he pumped gas at the corner station, checked your oil, cleaned your glass, waved as you drove off. And when that chapter closed, he didn't retire. He took a second job, sweeping floors at the JCPenney. 17 more years, mopping up after closing, long after the shoppers went home.
2 whole jobs? And he still wasn't rich?
Not from the jobs, child. The jobs just kept the lights on. The riches came from what he did with the leftovers.
Because a man who pumped gas and swept floors should not, by any math the town could do, have had $1 to spare. And to look at him, he didn't. He drove a second-hand car till the wheels were nearly off it, bought one small house, $12,000, and never moved again. He cut his own firewood into his 90s to keep the heat bill down. And that coat, when the clasp broke, he didn't buy a new one. He held it together with a safety pin. But he was no miser. He was kind, first to help a neighbour, quick with a wave. He was only ever hard on himself. He just didn't want much.
Wait, that's not fair. If he had no money, why are you smiling?
Who said he had no money?
But the coat, the old car.
Looking poor and being poor, those aren't the same thing, child. Watch what he did when nobody was looking.
Every morning before the town woke, the same ritual. Black coffee. And the Wall Street Journal read cover to cover. People assumed he liked the funny pages. He was studying companies. Whatever was left of his small paycheck, he did one quiet thing with. He bought tiny pieces of companies, shares, not the exciting ones, not whatever was hot. Boring, sturdy businesses that sold what people always need. The bank, the soap, the toothpaste, the phone line. And every few months those companies paid him back a little, a dividend, a few dollars just for owning a piece of them. Most people spend that. Ronald never did. He bought more.
Pop, what's a dividend?
Say you own one slice of the lemonade stand, Penny. Every few months, the stand sends you a few cents, just for owning your slice.
For doing nothing?
For being patient. And Ronald? Every cent the stand sent him, he bought another slice. Then those slices paid him too.
So the slices make more slices.
Now you understand him better than Wall Street did.
Here's the trick almost nobody believes until they see it. A few dollars, left alone, don't stay a few dollars. They earn a little. That little earns a little. Slowly, the line stops crawling and starts to climb. Picture $1. growing a little each year. It doesn't double by spring. That's the part people can't stand. But leave it 50 years and a single dollar can become 100. Ronald wasn't planting $1. He was planting them every week for half a century. He spread his money across nearly 100 companies, so no single one could ever sink him. There was no app, no hot tip, no secret anyone could sell. Just the most unfashionable idea in finance. Buy something good and refuse to let go. And he was tested. In 1987, the market had its worst day in history. Fortunes vanished in hours. Brokers begged clients to sell. Ronald didn't flinch. He'd grown up in the Depression. He'd seen real fear, and this wasn't it. He held every share. The neighbours who sold locked in their losses. His quiet pile climbed right past them. He kept the proof in a safe deposit box at the bank. Not on a screen, on paper. A stack of certificates 5 inches thick. The teller thought nothing of it. Just the quiet old man and his envelope getting thicker year after year. Nobody added it up. Nobody thought to. 50 years is a long time to be invisible. Ronald didn't mind. Being overlooked was the cheapest thing he ever bought, and it let him keep everything else.
So the little bits kept turning into more little bits.
And given enough time, child, a lot of little bits become a mountain. Most folks can't wait that long. He could.
How big was the mountain?
Let me tell you how the town found out.
June 2014. Ronald Read passed away, 92 years old. The town grieved a kind, quiet old man who'd pumped gas and swept floors. They thought that was the whole story. Then the will was read, and the room went silent. The janitor with the safety pin coat had $8 million. He never earned a fortune at work. He built one out of patience, 50 years of small, boring, faithful decisions nobody ever saw. And the story didn't stay in Vermont. Papers that had never heard his name ran it on the front page. The Wall Street Journal, the same paper he read each morning, wrote about the janitor who'd quietly out-invested professionals with Ivy League degrees. He'd never taken a finance class, never owned a computer. His edge wasn't a degree or a desk on Wall Street. It was time and the iron patience to use it. The people who'd pumped gas beside him, who'd passed him 100 times in that JCPenney, they read it and went quiet. They'd known him 40 years. They hadn't known him at all, because here's what he did with it. He kept almost none. $4.8 million to the hospital that cared for his town. $1.2 million to the library he loved, so any child, rich or poor, could walk in and learn for free. The largest gifts either had ever received. Somewhere in Vermont tonight, a child is reading a free book under a light a janitor paid for. He'll never know the child's name. The child will never know his. He could have died with his name on a tower. Instead, he put it on a hospital wing and a library shelf. The two places that ask nothing of you but that you show up willing to be healed or to learn. That was the whole man in one signature.
He gave it all away?
Nearly all. To the people who never knew he had it.
But he could have had anything. A big house, a new coat.
He had everything he wanted, Penny. He just didn't want much. That was his secret, not the money, the wanting.
Did he know that he was rich?
He knew, child. He just didn't need anyone else to. That's a kind of rich most folks never taste.
So the richest man you ever met swept floors.
And nobody clapped for him. Not once. While he lived, the world walked right past him. But patience like that, that's the loudest, quiet thing there is.
I think I want to be patient. Like Ronald.
That right there. That's worth more than the 8 million, child. And that is the fable.
Pop, are there more stories like Ronald?
Oh, more than you'd believe. Some folks build it quiet. Some folks blow it all up. Stick around. I'll tell you those too. None of this is advice now, just stories worth keeping.